Crochet, the process of making textiles by using a crochet hook to intertwine loops of yarn. This material art has been around for over 300 years and has been popular for much of this time. Even Queen Vicky was on the case. With the rise of social media, crocheting has become a popular pastime for people of all ages, with almost 30 million Americans participating in crocheting or knitting in 2016 alone. With all these people picking up their hooks, you might be wondering, what is all the fuss about? Well, I'm about to find out. I have never touched a crochet hook or a ball of yarn in my life. I have watched videos of the amazing craft and wondered from afar how they're doing it. But today I'm going to dive in headfirst with absolutely no knowledge and try to make this beautiful top. Wish me luck! For those of you who also have no clue how to crochet, let me walk you through the basic steps for a basic stitch, illustrated by the lovely Bella Coco. Step 1 is to create a slip knot with your fingers. Step 2 is to put the knot onto the crochet hook and pull it tight. Step 3 is to hold the crochet hook comfortably in your right hand. Step 4 is to wrap the yarn around your left hand. Step 5 is to wrap the yarn around the crochet hook once, and the 6th and final step is to pull that loop through the other loop. That is one stitch. This is my first ever attempt at those steps. Create a slip knot with your fingers. Oh gosh. This is apparently a slip knot, so put the knot on the hook and pull it tight. Hold the hook comfortably in your right hand. Wrap the yarn around your left hand. Wrap the yarn around your hand. Wrap the yarn around the crochet hook and pull the loop through. Whoa, hold on. Oh! Wait, oh no, I've lost a bit. Okay. And there is my first ever crochet stitch. I literally looked away for 2 seconds, she's created a whole chain and I've lost it. Okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and start that again. Spoke too soon. After successfully creating one stitch, I then did a chain of 10 and these were my thoughts. I've watched her tension tips and what she's saying is that you need to pull the right amount of tension because that will change the shape of your loops. I decided I would start again to work on tension and then I would go off and practice. So I have to do the slip knot first. So it goes... I think we should just skip to the practicing jazz. Okay, so I've practiced the basics with the basic yarn for a few hours now. To start with, I had completely forgotten how to do a slip knot. And as every piece of crochet fabric starts with a slip knot, I thought it would probably be a good thing to get right. Initially, I found doing the knot really tricky, but with practice it got a bit easier. At this point, I had done about 20 knots and decided to take a short break. However, when I came back, I realised I had completely forgotten how to do the knot. So when I came back, I decided to push myself and do 100 knots. Safe to say, I have not forgotten how to do one since. Now that I had nailed step 1 of the basics, I decided to continue with step 2 to 6. Steps 2 to 6 are just how to complete one link, so I kept doing that just with the aim of creating as many links as I possibly could. As I was going, I was getting better and I was getting faster. However, I was finding it hard to keep the size of the links consistent, so that became my aim moving forward. Using Bella Coco's tips with tension of the yarn, I played around with what different factors affected the size of the chains. After doing this, I felt I had understood why some chains were bigger and some were smaller, and you can really see the improvement in the consistency of the chains when you look at my attempts in the order that I did them. The next thing I wanted to work on was not shredding the yarn. Yarn is made of a few different strings wrapped around each other, and what I kept doing was picking up one of the strings instead of the whole piece of yarn, which then split the yarn into multiple different strings, making it really hard to work with. However, this is something I realised would just improve with time and practice. So I decided it was time to practice the first steps of making the real top. With practice yarn, of course. Let's figure out how we go from this to this. As I have no idea how to crochet, I will generally be following the tutorial by Olivia. So in order to make this top, we need to make each separate part. So we're going to work backwards from the end result to understand the pieces that we need. The sleeves are one piece per sleeve that are wrapped around, then the front of the top is one piece and the back is another. This makes 4 separate rectangles we need to crochet. Now, to make one of those rectangles, we start at the bottom with one long line of stitches. We then go back along that line, adding another line of stitches to make it stronger and thicker, creating a border. After that, we start making bubble-like stitches along that border. Then we simply repeat the bubble stitches until we have a rectangle. Once we do that for all 4 pieces, we can sew them together and we will have a top. Sounds simple, right? Let's give it a try. I have a 3mm and she has a 2.5, but this is good enough.
And then I'm gonna make a slip knot. I'm gonna put my needle in the slip knot and make a chain of 90.
90? I thought she said 19. So she's making a chain, which is what I practiced yesterday, so I can do that. I just need to look at how tight she's making the chains. Oh my gosh, she's so fast. Oh, that's crazy. So let's just start off with a slip knot. Go like that, goes round, down, over, and pull. Yes! So this goes in here, pull this bad boy to there, round the pinky, round this finger, and hold that guy. Instead of doing 90 rows, this is just like me practicing, so I'm gonna do 10. 1, 2, 9, 10! And then she did something that I cannot understand how she did, so let's just watch that again.
To start row 1, we're gonna chain 1. And we're gonna single crochet in every stitch until we get to the other side. So a single crochet is you stick your needle through the stitch, catch the yarn on the other side, pull it through so you have 2 loops, and then you catch the yarn and pull through 2 loops again.
Through here. So she went through there and she brings one through there, and then she's got still 2, then she goes round again. But this time it goes through both. 1, 2, yeah. So then it goes through both. So then she's left with 1. I have no idea what that is, what that means, but it's something, and I think I did it right. So she said we're gonna do that same thing through every single stitch until we get to the other side. Go through the first one. Oh, this is so hard. Pull that through that one. Got 2 again, and then we go round and through both of the 1. Oh my gosh, 1, 2. Okay, this is where I'm at. Let's see if it looks similar to hers. Oh my gosh, her stitches are so neat. Wow, that is amazing. Mine, okay, do you know what? They're not awful.
And now I'm gonna chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hold up. This girl moves so fast. This video is for beginner friendly. I must be literally like 0 entry level. Right, reducing the speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My speed is the same as her on 0.25 speed.
5. Flip my work around and miss 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. Make a double crochet into that 3rd stitch.
I'm guessing each like bit that goes over is a stitch. So 1, 2, 3. Potentially. So I think I might be on this one.
Double crochet is when you'll wrap your yarn around your needle, put it through the stitch, catch the yarn on the other side, and pull it through. You have 3 loops on your hook.
So she went around once, like that, then we count 1, 2, 3, in, through there. Then she caught the stitch, and then went back through, like so. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We do have 3, it doesn't look like it, we do have 3, so let's continue.
Then you catch the yarn again, pull through 2 loops, then catch the yarn again, pull through 2 loops. So you have 1 loop.
Through 2. Right, so I somehow have 3. I'm just gonna ignore that and go straight through 3. 1, 2, 3.
Then we're gonna chain 3, 1, 2, 3.
Bro, this is so hard! I don't understand. I don't understand. Okay, I can do this. It's okay. I can do this. 2, Okay, there's 3. I think they're too tight, but whatever.
Skip 3 stitches again. 1, 2, 3. Double crochet into that third one.
I can't even tell what a stitch is. Okay, are we doing what we did before? Let's see if I can remember. We went round, through, and now I've completely forgot. Let's keep watching. So then we just go round, and how many does she pull through? Oh my gosh, I can't! I'm so confused! And she goes again through both of them. Okay, so then we go woocha. Pow. I'm literally sat here with my mouth open, like I cannot believe this is human speed. I feel like this is enough information for me to go and practice, because I feel like from this point onwards it's probably going to be quite repetitive until we're putting everything together. Boy, do I need to practice! Let's do this. So after about an hour and a half, this is where we're at. I'm actually really happy with my progress, even though it took me quite a while. You can definitely recognise the stitching that would be used in a mesh top. Considering where we were an hour and a half ago, like, this is very much an improvement and I'm really happy with this. And as scary as it is to say, I think it's time to move on to the actual top. Oh my gosh, this is so scary. I can't do this. As I was going, I was improving, but as you improve, you start to be able to tell what's right and what's wrong, and so here are some things I realised I was doing wrong. Here is our first line of stitches. Here is our second line of stitches. So those two combined creates a border. This is our first row of bubble stitches right here, and then we have our second row of bubble stitches being started here. When you start a new row of bubble stitching, you need to attach them by having one bubble stitch connect to the bubble stitch below it, and it's the same story here. However, as you can see, we get a little bit messed up because we have 2 stitches attached to 1. Now, I kept on doing this. This would happen, then I would continue going along the line like this, doing it correctly, and then I'd realize at the end of the line, oh, I've messed up here, and I'd have to pull the whole line out just to get to this bit and then do it again. Luckily, as time went on, I started to do it less and less, but right at the start, it was so annoying because it kept on happening very, very frequently. But we pushed past this problem and kept going, and after about an hour of work, I was really happy with my progress. That was until I looked at the edge and realized that after every single row, I was dropping a loop. This doesn't sound like too big of a problem until you realize that in just 6 rows, we had gone from 42 centimeters to just 35. Now, this is a huge problem because now instead of making a rectangle, I am on track to make a triangle, and that does not work for a top. I quickly realised that pretty much my only option was to remove a big portion of the rows and basically start again. This was a really sad thought, however I thought, you know what, this is pretty much going to be the worst of the worst, like it can't get much worse than this. I've recognised the problem, I've fixed the problem, it's fine, let's keep going. Yay! And so I did keep going. I did another hour of work, and I was again so proud of my progress until I looked to the edge and realised what I thought was happening was every single row was increasing in size. I had the opposite problem, and I was sick of it at this point. I was not undoing my work. I just decided that for one row I would add a loop, and for the next row I would take away a loop, because then it would just even out. This would create a lovely rectangle and would eliminate all of the problems that I was having. Anyway, let's ignore our problems and keep going. This is just a little update. I've made this much fabric, which looks great when you look at it, okay? But when you really start to look at it, you might think, why are those edges so wobbly? And then when you really start to count how many loops are in each row, you'll realize that the bottom one has over 20 and the top one has 10. The little bit that sticks out here, that has 18. So basically I have to redo half of it. I hope you enjoy this because I will not. Now, although undoing work that I've just spent 3 hours doing is a little heartbreaking, between all the doing, undoing and redoing of my work, I was actually getting pretty good and pretty quick. Let's just think back to where I was.
Bro, this is so hard! This is so hard!
And compare that to a real-time video of where I am now. And now that I'm getting started, I don't know if anyone can really stop me. Okay, I have officially finished one 34 row crochet piece. And now I just need to do that whole thing again. And just like that, there were 2 of them. Definitely did not take me 5 hours. Before I even knew it, I'd done the front, I'd done the back, I only had 2 pieces left. So I took myself off to the park to get it finished. Okay, I don't actually know what the dimensions are for the rectangle I'm supposed to be doing, so let me just look that up really quick.
Oh my 45th row.
45th row, okay. That is gonna take so long, and I have to do 2 of them. Sorry to interrupt your regular scheduled programming, but I just wanted to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is me. I am sponsoring this video to let you guys know that you should subscribe to me, you should share this video, because I would love to make money. Thank you so much, enjoy the video. Okay, off I go. We need to do our classic slip knot. Yes, tuck it in, pull, wrap around the fingers, hold this. Stitch 1, yay! It is 8:46 and I have finished the 2 rows of stitches. Now all I have to do is 45 rows of bubble stitches. I can do it. The shoes have come off, it is officially getting serious. I have finished my first row of bubble rows. Okay, I'm gonna try and see how fast I can get each bubble row done. I'm gonna start timing it. To do 45 rows of these at that speed, it's gonna take me 2.5 hours to get this one sleeve done. Okay, so it's been just over an hour since I got here and I've completed 10 rows. For those who are interested, these are the timings of the 10 rows. Only 70 more to go. The main problem I'm having at the moment is I keep having so many knots in the yarn, which is taking me so long to undo. When I'm not having any issues with the yarn, I am doing a row in 3 minutes, but every single time I'm having to like spend at least 20 seconds doing a little knot. I'm not gonna lie, I had a phone call with my sister and I got super distracted and I've taken an hour to do 9 rows. But we're gonna, we're gonna come back hard, we're gonna fix it, we're gonna do 20 rows in the next hour, mark my words. It is 1 hour later, we have got 36 rows done. I've kind of like connected it as if it was a sleeve and it goes down to my hand. And I'm supposed to do 10 more rows? Like I think I should do maybe 5 more rows. So I have done 40 rows of the bubbles, which hopefully should be enough. I have been here for 3.5 hours and I'm getting a little bit tired, so I'm gonna go have lunch, have a break, I have a meeting, and then I will come back and do sleeve number 2. Okay, so I am back. I ended up having a super busy day, but I am going to do as much as I can right now of the final sleeve. I just spent the last 15 minutes trying to get this massive knot out. I managed to get it down to this. First 2 rows complete. Row 1. Row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5. I don't know, I'm really tired. It's been a really long day and so I'm going really slowly. Like it's taking me like a solid 8 minutes to do each row instead of my 3 minutes that I was at. It's the next morning, I'm back and I'm going to finish this sleeve in the next hour and a half. Absolutely mark my words, that will be happening. Row 6, row 7, row 8, row 9, row number 10, row 11, row 12, row 13, row 14. So I was wondering why these rows were taking a lot longer than the other ones because they're taking like 5 minutes. So I got the other sleeve section. Somehow I have made this like 10 stitches too long. I don't know how I've done that. And the bad part about that is that it's not like I can't just like cut this off and continue. If I want to get this the right size, I have to restart this whole thing For those of you who have no idea what's going on, let me explain it to you. Remember this picture from earlier? So, we have two sets of sizings going on. The front and the back are the same size as each other, and the two sleeves are the same size as each other. The sleeves are narrower and longer than the front and the back sections. Now these are the rectangles that I have crocheted in the same order that you have just seen the other rectangles. As you can probably tell, the front and the back are completely different sizes, and the sleeve on the right is far wider than the sleeve on the left. This was the point in the process when I realised how badly I had done making everything the same size. I don't know how I did it, but I managed it, and I was literally heartbroken. I was so convinced I was going to have to rip it all apart and start all over again. I was so sad. However, thanks to my handy dandy measuring tape, I realised that the front piece is actually a very similar width to the sleeve, and the sleeve on the right was actually a very similar width to the back. And after switching the front piece with the right sleeve, I realised that I can just continue the stitching to make them the right length each, and I will have the right shaped rectangles. What a stroke of luck that worked out! Oh my gosh! So with this new information, and without having to undo a single stitch, we continued. So this is now the front piece instead of a sleeve, but we're still going. So row 15, row 16, row 17, row 18, row 19, row 20, row 21, row 22, row 23, row 24, row 25, row 26, row 27, row 28, row 29, row 30, row 31, row 32, row 33, row 34. Done! Now to finish the final rectangle, the sleeve. Row 35. Oh my gosh, there's a wasp. Row 36, row 37, row 38, row 39, row 40, complete! Oh my gosh, I'm finished making the pieces, yay! Okay, we have finally made it to the final stage, which is to sew these pieces together. As long as the pieces are together in some respect and I can wear them without them falling apart, I'm happy. Let's get started. We have our front and back sections here, and we need to start by creating the neckline. Isn't it crazy that I created all of this fabric? So I need to single crochet through every stitch along this row until I get to 8. I think I'll do 6. Why is it so squeaky when the yarn is tight on a crochet hook? This is the last bit. Okay, cool. I've done that. So these were 2 separate pieces of fabric. Woo, they're connected! So I've done 6 loops in from this side. I'm going to leave some space, and then we need to do 6 loops in from the other side. Okay, so I've sewn the other side. So we have a hole for my head to go through. So let me just try and chuck it on. Look, like I full on have a thing. What do we think? What do we think? Okay, I do actually kind of like this look, but I think that with time it might get a bit looser. So I'm gonna bring it in slightly. I've just come back quickly because I have realized this is supposed to be a cropped top. It's a literal dress. This is my chance to fix it. If I add the sleeves, I can't fix it. So what I'm gonna do is undo these 2 things, pull some of it out so that it's a lot shorter so it is a crop top, and then redo these bits tighter in. Don't even ask me, how did you not notice this like as you were doing it? Because I have no idea. Like, I held this up so many times, this piece of fabric, and go, oh look, I made this piece of fabric. How did I not put it to my body and think, that is very long? Okay, I am back, and I have redone the neckline so it's better because even when I like pull it, it's not coming off the shoulders. Also, I've made it shorter so it's not cropped. I've realized I kind of like the look of not cropped. So the next step is going to be to crochet the sides together. However, because obviously we are adding arm pieces, I need to measure them to make sure I leave a big enough hole. We have an arm piece. This is so weird, like it's starting to look like a top. Like, oh my gosh, it's happening. Now I need to try and line this up. I believe the stitch is going to be the same that I've just done going down here, so I just need to make sure I count it correctly so that I can fit the sleeve on. I have completed the side. Let's see what it looks like when I'm wearing it. Yeah! Wow, that's so cool! Like, it's actually a top that I made. The next part is I need to add the sleeves. So what I need to do is attach this part to here. So the sleeve will be attached. Then I'll need to, once it's attached, go down and sew along there. But I've just finished attaching two together, and you know what I realised? So you see this is a seam. I just realised that that's going to be on the inside, but it was inside out. So either I go round and undo it and then redo it, or I just decide that this is a style choice. Before I do that though, I am going to try it on to make sure that it fits. Oh my gosh, okay. Why is it all the wrong leg? I literally followed Olivia's instructions of like dimensions to a T. I reduced some stuff because I was like, she's probably taller than me. There is absolutely no way that her arm is that long. This was supposed to be 45 and I reduced it to 40 and it's still that long. So I am gonna have to do it again. Like I said, it's inside out. Like you can see the seam here, but then this one is the right way around. So I'm gonna have to unpick it and do it again. I have been crocheting for at least 7 hours today. I spent the whole of today fixing the panels, making them the right size, and they're all the wrong size. For the main part, I took out like 8 rows for each piece, which is like easily like an hour's work. Now I'm like sat here and I need to pull like a good amount of this out because as you saw, the arm is way too long. So I'm gonna have to pull loads of it out, and it's just like, oh, I had to take 12 rows out from each side. I'm gonna cry myself to sleep tonight. Oh my gosh, there is strings everywhere. There is literally pieces of crocheted fabric, random balls of yarn, string absolutely everywhere. I'm not gonna lie, this process is long and it's tiring and it's kind of not enjoyable, like because I'm having to redo so much stuff. It's so disheartening and it's frustrating me, but I'm just gonna try this on because the seam is the correct way now. Okay, so the sleeve is a little bit long, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of like a good long though. So I need to connect this and then I need to do the other sleeve and then we're done. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a completed sleeve. Whether I can replicate this on the other side is a completely other question. If I can get the other side looking the same as this, I will be happy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last stitch. Guys. Am I done? Oh my gosh, it's a top. Oh my gosh, I've dreamed of this moment. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, why am I gonna cry? I'm so proud of myself. We have the top and it is not connected to any balls of yarn. Oh my gosh, I did it. I did it. And just like that, it is complete! What do we think? What do we think? I literally love it. Wow, this has been a process. To think that literally 3 weeks ago, I would have no idea how to do even one stitch. And now I have made a whole top from a ball of yarn and a flipping crochet hook. Like, that is insane. There were so many trials and tribulations. To think that I literally had to go back and undo my work at least 7 times. I have crocheted 150 rows and I have undone about 50 of those. I have spent 25 hours at least making this top. I think the most important thing is that I feel so accomplished from making this top. Like, I made this and it literally looks amazing. Will I crochet again? And the answer to that is probably, yeah, I will. There were moments where I was just chilling in bed crocheting whilst having a show in the background. Those were really fun moments and I actually really enjoyed it. I will definitely be doing a smaller project though. I have so much respect for people who crochet tops and toys on a regular basis. How you guys still have your sanity is unfathomable to me. But now that I can start to actually understand how much effort is going into these cute little videos, I'm like, wow! I love taking on challenges to remind myself how capable I am. And when I started this, I didn't know if I was going to be able to finish the top, let alone finishing it this well. So I think it's safe to say that I have learnt how to crochet.